Appearance on Dion's Daily Dose does not imply endorsement from or by any candidate or guest. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed by Dion Bergeron or Dion's Daily Dose are his own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of any guest. Material and information presented is for general information purposes only. The Dion's Daily Dose name in all forms and abbreviations are the property of its owners, and its use does not imply endorsement of or opposition to any specific organization, product, or service. If you'd like to support the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Dion's Daily Dose.
Hey, everybody. What a crazy few days. Oh, my God. So if you did not tune in to my last live stream, then you didn't see what happened with Mayor Parry. But I'm going to show you. It's okay because there's an update to it. Oh, my God. Okay, so the mayor apparently called and spoke to a pastor. I think, pretty sure it was Pastor Lane in Michigan City, where they left. The voicemail was still going. The mayor said something really stupid that he shouldn't have said, and it got caught on the voicemail, and it got made public. Okay, that's bad enough. Here's the ridiculous part, because it's already dumb, but we have to go into full stupidity here. Bruh, you can't make this stuff up. Let me show you. Let me show you. I'm going to give you the story first, and then you'll then you'll see how really dumb it is. Michigan City Mayor apologizes for racially insensitive comments, but does not resign. There's a video. It's only him standing there saying, "I'm sorry, but here's what we're going to do about it." Right? He said he's sorry for his words, and he will take implicit bias and cultural diversity training in hopes of preventing actions like this in the future. The mayor is also creating a new assistant position to represent the mayor's office in the community. Community members in attendance, several of them being Black faith leaders in Michigan City, say this apology is not enough and are still seeking the mayor to resign. Pastor Lane said the mayor was very specific in who he was making racially insensitive comments about on Friday, but failed to specifically apologize to the Black community today. Blah, 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 blah. He didn't take any more comments. Let me tell you the dumbness here. So this guy says something dumb on a voicemail. It's these effing Black guys just looking for an audience. Is basically what he said, okay? He says, now there's going to be a required diversity training for all city employees. He's the dumbass that said this stuff, but all city employees now have to have culture training, racial bias training. Now, I'm going to say this. It has not escaped me that prior to the election for mayor, our mayor was a Democrat his whole life. He ran in 2018 against the current state rep, Pat Boy, in the Democratic primary. Now, prior to this, Democrat, right? Now, for the mayor's race, he was able to persuade the LaPorte County Republican Party to issue him a letter stating that he is a member in good standing with the Republican Party. Now, that's a whole other issue and something I'm not going to get into, but it created some other drama, right? There was a really good candidate for mayor that actually got beat out in the primary by someone who got a letter, but that's something else. So here we have a lifelong Democrat who ran suddenly as a Republican, who gets elected, and because they're racially insensitive, now all of a sudden we have a diversity director in Michigan City. Let me tell you, I don't need diversity training. I'm diverse enough as it is, and this is something that we've seen edging its way into communities all across America. Either you know how to get along with people of different races or you don't. You either know how to talk to people or you don't. Having a position to teach you to be less racist is ridiculous. Speaking of racist, I want to share something with you that I just saw before I went live. Hey, Walter, good to see you, man. Jack, thanks for joining me. Let me show you this. This is just sick. It's just sick. And the reason that they say this happened is even dumber. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. Boom. So I read through the article. The article itself is just like, what? But this is just ridiculous. Racist high school announcer blames diabetes for saying F and N's on hot mic. You can't make this stuff up. I've never seen racism blamed on blood sugar, but here we are. During the NFHS network stream of a game between Norman High and Midwest City that was covering the Class 6A, blah, blah, blah. It was a game. A hot mic caught a commenter being a disgusting human being and launching into a racist rant during the national anthem. Quote, they're kneeling. F and N's, I hope Norman gets their ass kicked. F them, I hope they lose. Come on, Midwest City, they're going to kneel like that? Hell no. The announcer can be heard saying. Now, this article says all the more reason to kneel. Asshole, thanks for proving the point. In an earlier version, the commentator was identified as Scott Sepulpa, as reported by the Oklahoman. Sepulpa was a co-commentator during the stream, but was not responsible for any of the offensive remarks. In a press release, the commentator responsible for being a racist douche identified himself as Matt Rowan. So just so everybody knows, this poor guy Sepulpa, Scott Sepulpa, was blamed, and it wasn't Scott. It was this guy named Matt Rowan. Rowan will Ron, whatever. As if going on a hate-filled diatribe against children wasn't enough, Rowan doubled down by insinuating he couldn't possibly be racist because he's a Christian and has a family, and that the only logical reason he could think that he might say such vile things is because he needed some insulin. I've never heard of blood sugar issues causing a change to someone's moral fiber. What a weak, lazy, disrespectful excuse. It might be dumber than the dumbass in Fox who said the Queen of England literally descended from colonizers could not be racist because she has African and Asian subjects. Now, I don't know about that. What I do know is there's no excuse for that. And to blame it on diabetes, my grandfather had diabetes, my mom had diabetes, low blood sugar did not cause them to suddenly become racist. It's ridiculous and it's just stupid. Jackie, good to see you. I'm good. How are you holding up? So there's a couple more that I want to share with you real quick. Update for the beard guys, right? So Donovan, as you know, if you've been with me for a little while, the beard's a relatively new thing. I had the mustache and goatee for a while, but Donovan begged me to grow a beard, Donovan being my son. He's like, Dad, please, blah, 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 blah. So he came in here today, and we were talking about beards, and I forgot exactly how we got on the subject, but he asked me, are there there's something about moisture in the skin and beards. So I actually pulled up a thing for him that I discovered. There it is. I share this with you. Bacteria fighting beards: how facial hair could help tackle antibiotic resistance. And it's a good article. You can find this by going to your favorite search engine and typing good bacteria in beards. But name of the article. It's from Medical News Today, and here's a summary. They found that beards actually produce a number of antibiotics. Let's see here. Where is the particular part? Fast facts about beards. Beards grow an average of 5.5 inches each year. A man with a beard has an average of 30,000 whiskers on his face. And if a man never shaved, his beard would reach an average of 27.5 feet long. 27 and a half feet long. That's a heck of a beard right there. Here's the cool part. They found that those with facial hair were less likely to be colonized with methicillin-resistant Staph aureus, or MRSA. a bacterial species resistant to most antibiotics. But I'm sure you guys know what MRSA is. It seems that beards could actually be a key player in the fight against antibiotic resistance. Beard bacteria killed form of drug-resistant E. coli. So I just wanted to share that with you real quick. He's like, see, me making you grow a beard, not making, but asking you to grow a beard is actually good for your health. See? And it was hard to argue with that because there are a lot of health benefits to beards. My thing's shaking a little bit. So I decided today, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have this beard for a while. It looks like what is going on here? So it looks like the connection thing is still coming up. Let me know if you guys are having any lag or issues with my stream. I gotta call Xfinity tomorrow. That's who I use for internet. I got gigabit internet. I should not be having internet issues. And now I ran the ether cord. I'm hardwired. It's not even a Wi-Fi thing. Grr. I got to call them tomorrow and get a technician out here because I've gone through everything on my end. I got a new router from them. I got a direct connection. It's got to be their stuff. So for those of you who may be considering growing a beard, it's good for you. Let's see here. And there's one more thing that I want to show you before that's an upside, right? Okay, Jack says there is a bit of latency between audio and video. Interesting. All right. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to, I'll call them tomorrow and get that sorted because that's unacceptable. I have hardwired now. Check this out. And you know what? I could not agree more with this statement. Check this out. U.S. presidents play a lot of golf for some reason. I really don't get it. Here you are, the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, wasting time on a golf course when you could literally go to any military installation and spend hours putting thousands of free rounds downrange through dozens of various weapons and weapon systems that you will never have to clean. But no, let's go golfing instead. You can go golfing anywhere. Anybody can golf. Can you imagine, like, being Jackie said I should stop waxing. I mean, that is one way. Everybody apparently can have hair nowadays. You know, you can be man, woman, beast, whatever you like. I identify as an Apache attack helicopter. That would have been a lot funnier if I hadn't stumbled through it. It's the reality these days. Anybody can be anything, right? We had a discussion the other day, Donovan and I, and we basically concluded that science is king unless science doesn't agree with you. In which case, then you shouldn't listen to the science because it's irrelevant, right? When it comes to, or you go back and you edit the scientists who have said things. Look at Bill Nye. Remember Bill Nye, the science guy? I gotta say, they went back and they removed the episode or episodes where he talked about chromosomes and how X and Y equal male and female. Yeah, gone. Absolutely gone. Can't say that because the science doesn't agree with you. You're not allowed to not agree. I think, back to this, I think it would be absolutely amazing being president for that reason. Other things aside, yeah, it'd be awesome to be president, let's be honest. But that's what I would do. To hell with golfing. Anybody, you can go golfing anytime. You're the president. You're the commander-in-chief. Dude, let's check out some tanks. Let's check out some rocket launchers, the MLRS, Apaches. That's what I want to do. Take me up in an Apache, dude. Like, oh my God, all the cool things you would be able to do as president. And all these old men, the only thing they seem to want to do is go to hang out at Camp David and go golfing. Like, really? You could be on a carrier, take a flight in an F-15, all the things you're not allowed to do. Like, as a civilian, right? You're the commander-in-chief. You get all these perks. Why aren't more presidents doing that? That's my question. But I got sidetracked. What I was going to say is I'm obviously going to have this for a little while. Donovan, like, he wants it to come, like, he wants an epic, like, lumberjack style beard. So I'm gonna have this for a while, I think. It's still kind of itchy and a little wiry. It's not super comfortable. I've never been a beard guy, mustache and goatee, just because without it, I look weird to myself. Like, is there something about you that if it changed, you would like feel weird about? And like maybe it's your glasses. For me, it's facial hair. It's the mustache and goatee. Without them, I just don't look right to myself. But Donovan wanted me to keep this, so I've been going with it, and I decided to invest in some beard care products. Right now, I know virtually nothing about beard care. It's never been my thing. Mustache and goatee doesn't really require a lot of maintenance. It's just there, right? So I go to Meyer and I'm looking at just the insane amount of product that are there. That's just a whole section of all this stuff. And I have no idea what I'm looking at. I have no idea what I'm supposed to get. So I'm reading it all, right? I finally picked out a couple of things. I'll let you know how they work. It's not a paid sponsorship or anything like that. I'll let you know for those of you who care. Let me know if you care. I'm going to check it out. I got some like balm. It's basically you like put a nickel size on and you rub it through and it's supposed to make it softer. Now, Donovan and my wife Liz both said it is definitely softer as soon as I put it in there. And then I got some other stuff that's like a wash, but it's like a 2-in-1. So warm water when you're in the shower or whatever, you work it through. Because I assumed, I guess rightly, that facial hair is different than the hair on your head. So you need a different product for it than just shampoo. And that's what it seems to indicate when reading this stuff, because it's like facial hair is different than the hair on your head. I'm like, that's kind of what I thought. So there's all kinds of products. I have no idea what I'm going to end up using. I got a couple of different kinds. We're going to try them and see what works and what doesn't. So making a full circle, let me go back to the beginning of the segment, because I did want to say this. Now, I am not saying that this was intentional. I'm not saying this was some big plan, but I am going to say this. Michigan City, right? Who for many, many years, we haven't had any kind of problems really with race relations. We're a city that gets along pretty well. The different cultures that are here, we have many different cultures. We have lots of minorities. We have a robust culture diversity in Michigan City. It's not really been a problem. How do you make sure that there's a diversity director in a city where there's no real call for it? Now, maybe I'm ascribing way too much intelligence, but how do you make that happen? You take a Democrat, you have him run as a Republican, you get him into office, and then you have him say something that's bad, but not bad enough for people to drag him out. There's some people that'll complain, right? There's a little bit of, but it's not bad enough. It's not like that other guy that I showed you. It's not that kind of thing. It's just an insensitive comment. Okay? Not enough to force resignation, but enough to raise some eyebrows. Then you take and you establish a position, right? Which, might I add, I don't know how much this position is supposed to pay, but it will be paid for by you and me. Well, me if you don't live in Michigan City. My taxes. Your taxes if you live in Michigan City. The Michigan City taxpayer is going to be the one paying this person for a position that wasn't even necessary. Still not necessary, in my opinion. You think you need diversity training? Then you go pay for a diversity training out of your own pocket with the $80,000 approximately you make a year as being mayor of Michigan City. I'm going to be very clear. I don't dislike Dwayne Parry. I don't really know Mayor Parry. I've met him less than 5 times, maybe 3-4 times. Very, very brief, hello, how are you doing? I don't know him. But to say that the entire city needs diversity training because you don't know how to hang up a phone is one of the stupidest, most ridiculous things I have heard in a long time. And remember, I ran for office. I have heard some stupid shit. I have heard some really, really dumb things. But to force an entire city structure to have so-called diversity training because you're too out of touch to hang up a phone, you don't need diversity training. What you need is training on how to hang up a phone. That's what you need. You need tech support or something. I digress because it upsets me that not even this position. The position's dumb. It is. It's unnecessary. But more than that, of course, it's a paid position. Of course, it's another way for the taxpayers of Michigan City to be dragged out of their money, right? We're going to have to raise taxes because we have to pay our diversity director. No. What? Are you kidding me? Again, if the mayor feels that he needs diversity training, then he should absolutely go get some training. But he should pay for it, A, out of his own pocket, and B, why is it being forced on everyone else? We were doing perfectly fine. It's so ridiculous. Update on running for office again. I've had a few people that have contacted me and said, you got to, right? You have to run in 2022. And I'm going to run for something, very likely. The question is what? Do I run for city council? Do I run for... It's not that I wouldn't like to. Where am I going to have the most effect? Liz and I were actually talking about this, and she's like, we're looking at what's going on down in Indy with people trying... There are legitimately people trying to challenge the governor's overreach. And there are so many people that are just like, it's fine. It's no problem. It's okay. What? This is the kind of mentality. And I guarantee you, if these were people from a different party, if, for example, the governor was a Democrat and did what he did, then the Republicans, the so-called Republicans, would actually grow a damn backbone and actually take action. Here's the point. Are we trying, the bill that's there isn't even trying to take away the potential of the governor to declare emergencies. Of course, that's what they claim. They're like, oh yeah, if we pass this, we won't have the capacity to do the things that we did in order to help with COVID and blah, 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 blah. That's not true. It's just blatantly not true. It flat out lies, like always. What it would do, and the one that I am in favor of, is how are you allowed to continually stretch out a state of emergency for a year now without any legislative approval, without any legislative anything, nothing. There's no consultation. There's nothing. How is that okay? That's my big issue. Well, legislators should be involved in this process. If this needs to continue, if we need to continue having a state of emergency, then legislators should be the ones involved in it. I think 30 to 60 days at most, at which point it should require a session, emergency session if necessary. Get the Senate in there, get the House of Representatives in there, and I'm talking about Indiana specifically. Get them in there and have them decide whether this is necessary. It's stupid. It's so dumb. So we're like, is me going to Indy to speak up for the region, is that going to be enough? Is that going to be the best thing that I can do? Would I do better in county council or county commission or Congress or whatever? What would be the best way? Not just, here's the thing, right? And this is the other thing that we talked about is, it isn't so much that I want a political career. It's that there are so few people that are speaking up for us, for you and me. I don't see these people, definitely not in my area, standing up and going, hey, we matter. Regular Americans matter. It's our voice, the majority, that need to stand up and say something. We're not seeing enough of those. So that's why I ran. That's why I'm going to continue to run until and unless another person who I feel is better steps up and runs for these things. What? I don't know. I don't know. What would be your pick? Where do you think that the most good could be done? What position? Let me know in the comments. Is it U.S. Congress? Speaking of Congress. So our First District Congressman Frank Mervan happily voted for this $1.9 trillion bailout plan, because that's what it is. It's not COVID relief. Very, very, very tiny amount of this goes to the people. It is a massive bailout for poorly run cities and states. It shuffles money around in an unprecedented scale. This is what they voted for. This is what the first district wanted. And until, honestly, people, until we put up a Republican that has a chance of winning, that's what's going to continue happening. That's the way it's going to be. And I myself am tired of listening to people support this person and then complain about the way they vote. You knew that he was going to fall lockstep in with the Democrats. It's insane. And the way that they push it on you is mind-blowing. I'm gonna stop complaining. I'm gonna give you some interesting stuff coming up. Apparently Porter County has a new head of the Porter County Party. I heard that Austin Bonta got elected to be chairman in Porter County. So that's really good news. I really like Austin. He's a smart guy, well put together. I think he'll do a really good job as the county chairman there. Here in LaPorte County, everyone was replaced. Every single person from top to bottom. Mitch Fikes was the chairman. It is now Alan Stevens. Let's see, vice chair. Oh man, I'm going to mess her name up. Lisa Pierzakowski is the new vice chair. Coral Lawn was the vice chair before. The treasurer is now, I think, is it? Yeah. Rosenbaum, Mike Rosenbaum is the treasurer now. It was Eileen Zona. It is now, yeah. And then who was the Rosenbaum? And then which one? Oh, secretary. Secretary was Dan, and who is now? It's not Adam Karanka. That's it. Sorry, I had to think for a moment. So it was Dan Granquist as secretary. It is now Adam Karanka. Yeah. So Alan Stevens, Lisa Pierzakowski, Rosenbaum, and I just said it. Anyway, if you want to get involved with the Republican Party, there are several ways that you can do so. You can email, text me, or send me a message. I'll give you the email of the people that you need. Tomorrow morning, we are having the 463 GOP breakfast. It is every month, and it's the second Saturday of the month. It will be at Portofino at the edge of LaPorte there on 39. Everyone's welcome. It's $8 for the breakfast, and come on down. You can join the Breakfast Club personally, especially prior to now. Now, according to Alan Stevens, we're going to start having monthly meetings and actually get things organized here in LaPorte County. Prior to Alan taking over, there were no real meetings. Everything that got done as far as the Republican Party got done at the 463 GOP breakfast. That's where the decisions were made. That's where the networking happened. That's where we met people and had fun and all that stuff. So come on down. Everyone's welcome. Hope to see you there. That's about it. If you want to get involved, but you don't want to go to breakfast, that's fine. Like I said, send me a message and I'll put you in touch with the right people. That's about it. That's where we're at now. Again, diversity, really. That's the stupidity we deal with on an everyday basis now in this country. Apparently, that's where we're at. So thanks for hanging out with me. We're gonna get some interviews going. I'm still trying to line up people, but Let me ask you guys this. So, real quick, several months ago, I had a email communication with John McAfee, actually his wife, but he, as you know, is a unique individual. He's a trip. At the time that I had the conversation, my channel did not meet the parameters to have him on. There were certain things that they required, right? It had to be free, which I met that, and it had to have been on for a certain amount of time. Well, it has now been on for that amount of time. Would you guys like me to have John McAfee on the show? Now, I'm sure he'll make bail. He just got charged with some. He just got charged with something. I forgot even what it was, but something securities or I don't know, something. But I assume he'll make bail, and video conferencing being what it is. What do you guys think? Yes, no? Let me know in the comments. I'll talk to you all later. God bless you. God bless Indiana. And God bless the United States of America.
If you'd like to support the show, please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Dion's Daily Dose. This has been Dion's Daily Dose, hosted by Dion Bergeron. Executive producers Sean Holgram and Michael Beatty. Copyright 2021. Dion's Daily Dose, all rights reserved.